Hello everyone, welcome to the new episode of Professionals Unplugged. I am your host Utkarsh Shukla, and let me introduce you to my guest Ilia. Ilia, thank you so much for accepting our invite.
Thank you for the invite.
Thank you so much,
Hello,
Ilia.
everyone.
Yeah, so you can introduce yourself to our audience, like who you are, what work you do, anything you want to talk about yourself.
Okay, great. Hello from me. I'm Ilia. I'm from Athens, Greece, and I'm a lawyer who specializes in employment and labor law. Um, I work in a law firm and I have a master's degree in employment law. Um, Basically, what fascinates me about this field is that you get to navigate the ever-evolving landscape of employer and employee rights, and you get to gain insight into workplace dynamics, which I find very interesting. Um, Employment law is a very wide field of law. It covers a very broad spectrum from of issues from discrimination or wage disputes to labor union negotiations, which I find very interesting because it ensures that not two days are the same. It keeps you on the tip of your toes, and the work is always engaging and challenging. Um, and I think that mainly, yes, that along with the belief that the work that you do as a lawyer in general, and more specific as an employment lawyer, has some word implications that can lead to more equitable workplaces. These, I think, are the main reasons why I pursued this field. And on a more personal note, outside of the office or the courtroom, you may find me dancing because I'm a big fan of Latin culture. And I'm also a sports fan, so you might find me running. I actually ran a half marathon 6 months ago because it helps me release built up tension from the day, because I don't think I have to tell you, but being a lawyer can be quite stressful at times and it can really push you to your limits.
That's really great of you. I think you have already shared your motive behind being a lawyer. So, what are the challenges that you faces in your day-to-day life, or should I ask, like, what are the biggest challenges according to you on being a lawyer?
Well, I think it mainly has to do with the clients that you work with. Sometimes, the needs are increased, the deadlines can be quite tight. So you need, as I said before, to try to be up to speed with the needs of your clients, and also with the changes that keep coming in law, especially employment law, as it's a field that keeps changing, especially in Greece, actually. So you have to, even after you graduate, you have to continue studying almost every day, keeping up with all new updates on the field. Um, I think, yeah, these are the main challenges of being an employment lawyer.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, keeping yourself up to date is the requirement of every field, irrespective of what
Exactly.
field you belong,
With
right?
yours as well.
Correct. I agree with you on this one. That's great. So sometimes there might be a scenario in the case of a lawyer when you know that your client is wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or
True.
the things that he's trying to tell you are not binding with the law. Then how you deal in that situation, or how to deal with that?
Well, I believe, of course, you have to attend to your client and try to do your best to keep up with their needs. But I always advise my clients to do the right thing, to proceed with a legal solution. But I try to compromise it with their interests, if that makes sense, to find a good balance between these two. It's not always easy, of course, and you have to think a bit out of the box sometimes. But I think that a good balance can be found and is feasible.
Yeah, that's great answer. So, any story you like to share with us from your journey?
Um, well, I think um, now on the top of my head, I might say how I became an employment lawyer in the first place. Um, Basically, back in my third year of law school, I had a close friend who worked part-time as a waitress in a cafe to support her studies. And to me, she's one of the hardest workers I know. She's always on time, very diligent, good with people, and she was very likable with the customers. And despite this, unfortunately, she started facing unfair treatment and even harassing behavior from her manager. Uh, so one day she confided the situation in me about what was happening in the workplace. And seeing her frustration and how powerless she felt, and how unsure she was about how to address the situation. Um, I was very stigmatized by it, so I decided to help her with gathering evidence for the unfair treatment that she was facing. And we sat together, we documented instances of the manager's behavior, we noted dates, times, specific incidents. And of course, I actually had at this semester, I had my first introduction in employment law in school. So I dug a bit deeper into that. We researched employment laws, workers' rights, and we discovered that she actually had legal protections against what was happening with the whole unfair treatment thing. So uh, as I had not attained my law degree at the time, and nor my license, we decided to approach the labor inspectorate, the local labor inspectorate, and we provided them with the documentation we had gathered. And actually, she made a compelling case for herself, and the public authority took the complaint very seriously. And they conducted an investigation, and ultimately, the manager was held accountable for his actions, which was, very rewarding, and especially as a young student, this was very eye-opening to me because it actually highlighted how vulnerable employees can be and how crucial it is for them to have a full understanding of their rights. And I realized that there are many people like my friend who lack the resources or the personal knowledge to defend themselves. So yeah, I think that this incident gave me the passion to pursue a career in employment law. I wanted to be an advocate who could stand up for individuals facing workplace injustices, ensuring that they received the fair treatment they deserve and a voice in situations where they might feel like they have no power.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on this point. Like, I think employers, advocates are pretty much underrated, or these are something that is now becoming popular. But before few years, it was like people are not aware of their rights as an employer. Right, that's a pretty good thing of you. And I think this was your first unofficial case, I can say.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So, what was your first case? If you can just talk us through, means if it is not confidential, if you remember, I know you must be remembering your first case.
Yeah, my first case was not that big of a deal because as you uh, kick off your career, you don't get to handle the most intricate cases. I was actually asked because apart from employment law, I also do immigration law. So I was asked to issue a residence permit, which might seem like, a bureaucratic procedure and not that big of a deal, but in Greece, and I don't know if it's the same in other countries as well, it can be quite difficult, the collaboration with the local authorities. So yeah, as a young professional, it was a bit tough, getting to organize the whole thing, the documentation needed, the additional documentation needed by the authorities. Uh, and yeah, I think that was my first case. It was not, a shocker one, a really big one, but it gave me some insight, and it made me come into contact with the authorities, which is another very big part of being a lawyer. And you have to know how to navigate the relationship with the authorities quite carefully because um, okay, I say it a bit off the record, but you need them on your side to do things smoothly.
Okay. Yeah, I totally agree with you on these points. So, if there is any advice you can give to the college students who are trying to pursue law or the employer's law, what will that be?
Well, I think that a bit of a general thing, if you want to be a lawyer, is that you have to be quite patient, because, research for a specific topic might take many days, although you have a tight deadline. Some cases are very complex, and you need to really put in the effort and the time in being diligent and covering the matter from all aspects. Um, I don't know, you have to be patient, you have to be diligent, you have to have good communication skills, also because you get to work with clients and as well with other lawyers, with the authorities. So it's important that you know how to address every person in an appropriate manner. So yeah, and you really need, this is something that I found out as I proceeded with my career. You have to be very, you have to have an eye for the details because, as they say, the devil is in the details. So you need to be very careful with that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much summarizes the life of a lawyer, as you just mentioned. Be patient, be good with communication, and you need to be very detailable in terms of information that you are going through, right?
Okay.
So, what is your dream right now, or your goal? Means, is there anything you want to achieve?
Well, as I am very new in my career, I don't have that much experience. I have been a lawyer for almost 1 year now. Um, I would like to learn as much as possible, to evolve as much as possible. And I would say that my main aspiration at the moment is to continue growing and adapting and, staying at the forefront of legal developments and the best practices. For me, being a lifelong learner and seeking out new opportunities for professional development and skill enhancement is very important. And on another note, I think that apart from professional success, which I think is a goal for almost everyone, another thing that I would very much like is empowering others by providing, employees with knowledge of the rights and the confidence to assert themselves this is something that really inspires me and resonates with me. And I think also providing education and support. I would like to help individuals like my friend navigate the complexities of employment law and stand up for themselves when they face injustice. Um, and of course, it might sound like far-fetched, but I dream of contributing to a systemic change within organizations and industries and promoting inclusive and equitable workplace ethic where everyone has the opportunity to really thrive, feel themselves, and get at the best of themselves. And I think that through strategic legal counseling and advocacy with either employees or employers, there might actually be a positive shift in policies and practices that can actually benefit employees at all levels.
I think that's really a great dream that you have just shared with us, helping people all around you with the motive to grow. Right. It's very kind of you. We hope that you will achieve it soon. Thank you so much, Ilya, for sharing
Thank
your
you.
insights. It was really a nice experience speaking with you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you too for the invite. It was a really nice conversation and it was awesome meeting you.
Thank you.